This here podcast is for a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You never know, we might be talking about spirituality and wellness, relationships, whatever it is that you do to get your money, be it working somewhere, be it running your own thing, be it having a side hustle. It's all good over here. We are getting organized. We are handling our time management better, and we are having fun through it all. Because over here, it's all love, all light, and good vibes only. So, if you are interested in living, laughing, and learning, growing and glowing, drinking your water, and minding your own business, this is the perfect place for you. Hi, I'm Tiff, and welcome. Hey friends, and welcome to another edition of the Life Unscripted Podcast by Organized Energy. I'm your girl Tia, and I am super excited for you to be here with me today for another episode. Okay, so first of all, I hope that you've been having an amazing day so far. I hope that you have at least 2 or 3 wins that you can look back on the day and feel like, some good things are happening for you, right? And so, and also, if you are new to this show, I want to say thank you for stopping by and giving it a try. I want to say thank you if you have been hanging around here for a while and you're not so new. I appreciate you being so faithful, and I feel like we are friends, we are family, and I appreciate your support. Okay, so whether you're new, whether you're old, I hope that you get what you came for today. As you know, we talk about a little bit of this and we talk about a little bit of that. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's finances, sometimes it's business, sometimes it's about your bestie or your boo, right? We run the whole gamut of things, all the things. So today I'm going to talk about networking, a little note on networking. I have several episodes that I've done on networking, but there's one that I want to add to that, and that's what we're going to do today. This is going to be for any of my professionals, young professionals, any kind of professional, people that might be introverts, people that are looking to make new personal and professional acquaintances and maybe a little shy, might be out of the habit of making new friends or making new connections, and might be trying to figure out, like, what do I even say? How do I shoot my shots? Like, what are we going to talk about? Because it's one thing to do all the work and get out there and network, exchange the business cards or the contact information. And then, we set up an appointment to just even have some time together to just like chit chat, have coffee or lunch or brunch or appetizers or whatever that looks like. Actually, fun fact, when I meet with people, a lot of times, it's not necessarily over coffee or appetizers or lunch or brunch. Especially here lately, when I meet with new contacts or even established friends, it's like, where can we go walking? Let's walk down by the river. Let's go to a local park or a trail. Let's find somewhere pretty to walk. Let's go near the mall and walk, but let's stay outside. Like, let's get us a lemonade or something cold or nice to drink, and let's like walk around this pretty area. I love the outdoors. And it feels less business-like, it feels less transactional. It feels like, we're trying to connect on a personal level, on a personal basis. And that's what it's all about, because business is built on relationships. People are quicker to do business with a person than they are to do business with, a business per se. So that being said, one thing that people say a lot when they work with me or meet with me, they're like, you are so cool. I feel like I've been knowing you my whole life. Like, you're so easy to to, vibe with or whatnot. And they say, I love your energy. And then I love to reveal, well, actually, that's the name of my business is Organized Energy. But that's always fun for me. And I love it because that's what I want it to be. I want it to be, we have to be friends. We got to feel cool with each other and be that way authentically. So I say all that to tell you that there are people that, it doesn't come to them that easily. And sometimes they're just like, okay, what do we talk about? What is the conversation going to be like? I encourage just be yourself, just be yourself, be interested more so than being interesting, which I have said on previous episodes, meaning be interested in the other person, ask about them, ask about their passions and their interests and what they feel like their purpose is and what things do they do really well and all those things. Like, try not to steal all the limelight, letting it be all about you, But with that being said, I'm going to just give you guys today in this particular episode just a few conversation starters. This is literally going to be about just a few things you might want to talk about when you have what I call chat and choose. When you get together for lunch or brunch, chat and choose. Or when you just get together for those virtual coffees, in-person coffees, lemonades, teas, whatever you do, right? Okay, so I'm just going to run down my little list. And you could just use any of these as you see necessary, okay? And these, again, the goal is to connect on a personal and professional level. So some of these are going to be things you want to talk about as it pertains to professionally, because, a part of being a part of someone's network and being a part of their community, being a part of their circle, if you want to be an asset, you want to provide value, right? And so you want to be able to provide referrals or introductions or tips or, resources and things like that. And so the way that you can do that is when you better understand who they are, what their interests are, what their needs are, and just all those things. Okay. So a lot of these questions are going to be, based on you trying to gather information as you get to know this person, because making new friends, making new business partners, making new referral partners, just being business buddies with somebody, it's like any other relationship. You're kind of dating, you know what I mean? And to a certain extent, like you're just trying to get to know the person. You're trying to figure them out and you're trying to, just kind of get comfortable. Okay. All right. So first things first, of course you're going to meet them however that is. And then you might connect on the social media platforms, especially for me and professionals. LinkedIn is big for me. Of course we have, if you were at the event, if you were at a networking event, that's what I'm trying to say, and you guys exchange business cards or whatever, contact information, however that came along, whether it's a virtual business card or a physical one. You want to load that information into your contacts so that you have them saved and locked in as a contact. And you just kind of maybe want to take note, because you're going to need to reference your notes so that you can kind of go back and follow up. A lot of times people say that the fortune is in the follow-up. Sometimes one-offs and just trying to meet a person and just thinking that one time is going to do it isn't going to necessarily do it. It just takes a bit of courting, to become friends, or to establish that trust, so they know you, like you, and trust you, whether it's personally or for business. Okay. And so you're going to, exchange information, and then you're going to make notes somewhere, whether it's on a spreadsheet or in a notebook or wherever you have it in your CRM, which is your customer or client relationship management software. But you're going to, kind of make note of their contact information. That's like their company or their organization or their brand, their title or their role. How many years have they been doing this thing or been in this particular industry? Just so that you can find out, are they new to this or are they true to this? You know what I mean? Have they been doing this? Are they a veteran at this thing, or are they brand new at it? And it doesn't necessarily matter completely. It's just good to know, because you might need that information for something down the line. Okay. And then just kind of getting a better understanding of what is their product or their service or their offering or whatever it is. Right. So you want to kind of find out as you guys are talking, what exactly do you do, And why do you do the thing that you do? Like what's driving you to do that? What's fueling your passion for that? Sometimes people have an interesting story to tell about what led them to the thing that they do now and the things that they are interested in. And that's really just great to know. Like, I love to hear people's stories, their journeys, to get into the place to where they're at and why they do what they do. It's just amazing to kind of learn. And then you want to know, like, what are their needs? What are their current needs? What are their frustrations? Because when you kind of have a better idea of what their needs are and what their frustrations are, then you have a kind of need, you can better understand how you might be able to help solve some of those frustrations, or provide some sort of support, or resource for that. Or you might kind of put in the back of your mind a resource or a person that's already in your network that you can connect them with, based on their needs or their frustrations, that can help them, alleviate some of that. All right. And then you also want to know who's their target market. Who are they wanting to work with or support, or, you know what I mean? Like, who are they wanting to know that you might be able to help them out with? You might want to know who are some of their ideal strategic partners. Who would they like to be hooked up with that's going to make sense for what they're trying to do personally or professionally. Okay. So you're going to ask them, like, who you want to connect with? How can I help you? You also might want to kind of throw out there within the conversation, like, what are some of their strengths and their weaknesses? Not because this is an interview, not because you're grilling people or drilling people. It's literally like, so many of the people that I connect with, that we might have lunch or brunch or just go walking with or whatever, we talk about those things. We're like, I'm really wanting to work on XYZ. Like, I really want to get better in this particular area. For the next quarter, I'm going to be intentionally working on blah, blah, blah. And you guys might catch a vibe right there, because maybe they have similar strengths that you have. They might have things that they're needing to work on that you also have been wanting to work on. Maybe the things that they need to work on, you can help them with. Maybe the things that you say you need to work on or do better or improve in, they're great at and they can help you with. Okay? These are ways you can kind of just build connection and relate to each other in a little bit better. These are ways that personally and professionally you can connect. Again, we're trying to catch a vibe. Okay? We're trying to make new friends. And you're trying to, it's partially transactional, but a lot relational. These are not questions necessarily because you're trying to make a sale. These are questions because you really want to get to know the person. But, in essence, it might be an opportunity for you to provide support or a service, like I said, or refer them. But it's not necessarily all because of that. This is a part of getting to know people. So you might want to know, asking them, what would they like to grow in or improve in on a personal level? And what are the things they'd like to grow in or improve in or be stronger at on a professional level as well? You might want to ask them, like, what are your goals? And these are things you could talk about too. Sometimes people are waiting for someone to care enough to even ask these questions because things are always so transactional. And so for somebody to actually care and ask these things, because guess what? They might not have anybody else that cares to ask, And so it might really mean the world to them that you do. So, you might ask, like, what are their goals this week, for this month, for the next 6 months, for the quarter, for the next year, for the next 5 years? Like, you all might be able to connect even on that because, again, some of their goals might be some of the same ones you have, or something, some way that could lead to a deeper conversation, which would be amazing personally and professionally. You might want to know just like, what are their routines? And now let me tell you, as I'm going down some of these that I kind of use as I'm just, having conversation starters with people, you have to remember, I love to talk. I love to chat. I love to listen. I'm a podcaster, for Pete's sake, and I'm an author, right? So I can go on and on and on with writing, with listening, with communicating, because it's like one of my it's what I do, right? And I teach too. So again, these things come easy to me. I am trying to, throw some ideas out there for you if it doesn't necessarily come easy for you. But I say that to say some of these are just a matter of being interested in a person is where I'm going with this. So these are some questions just to let a person know you're interested in them. They would love that, Again, you just want to connect. You don't want to just collect connections. You want to really connect with your connections. So again, you might ask, just what's a typical day or routine for you? Like, what does that look like? And you guys might have some commonalities even right there. Or again, you might be able to say, man, you do that every day. Or man, you do that every week. Oh my gosh, I wish I could, get that into my schedule some kind of way. You'll have to tell me some of your strategies, how you can pull that off every day. How can you pull that off all the time? I've been trying to figure that out for myself, So again, just a way for you guys to catch a vibe. Something else, you might ask about their hobbies or their passions, their interests, what do they feel like their life purpose is? That's something that people can just have a whole conversation just on that. Also, what states or cities or countries have they lived in? Have they traveled? Because I'm going to tell you, so for the places that I've lived at, the states that I've been to, that I've lived in, people that is a whole conversation starter. I've met many people that have been there as well to those places that I've also lived in, the states that I've lived in. And that's like, oh my gosh, do you miss it? And I'm like, yes, I do, And so we talk about how we might miss that place and how we would love to go back. Or we talk about all the things we loved about the place, the state that we used to live in, the cities that we both were like, oh my gosh, you used to visit such and such restaurant when you lived there too. Oh my gosh, it's my favorite restaurant. No way. I can't believe you love it there too at this place, or you used to shop at that same place, or, because other people around them might not be able to relate. You know what I mean? Like, we're in a whole nother city now, and others might not have had the privilege to be able to live in the place that we've lived before. And so it's so amazing when you can find somebody else that gets you and that has traversed in those places, and they know all about this particular area that's your favorite area in this old place you used to live, or they might want to know more about it. The other thing is, people that have not lived in some of the states that I've lived in, or in the couple of states that I lived in, sometimes they're just asking like, what's it like? Did you like it there? What was your favorite part? Like, if I've been wanting to go, I've heard so much about that place, wow, but now that you've said it, I'm going to definitely go because I've heard so many people. You're just one more person that's talked about this. So it must be something nice in that place. I want to visit it, So either they've been there before or want to go there. And so that's a great segue into conversation. And then also just family life. Like, what's their birth order? What's their relationship status? Do they have kids? Because these are things that people, can... again, I just say the words, I use the phrase catch a vibe, but, you can relate to easily, just what someone's birth order, what their relationship status is. I mean, a lot of people, if they're married and, both of you guys are married, that's awesome. You can talk about that. If you're single and both of you guys are single, you're like, oh my gosh, you do, you can talk about those journeys and those adventures. If you have kids or not, that's something. Or again, if it's, you guys are the opposite of each other in those areas, that's fine too. There's just something to talk about even with that. I love when I talk to my connections regarding their relationship status and my relationship status, because I love to hear how people met their loved one, their significant other. What is their love story? How long have they been married? What are some of their tricks to making it work and last so long, or keeping it fun and fresh and all those things? If they're single, it's fun to talk about, oh my gosh, me too, and we talk about those journeys, those experiences of dating or not, or whatever. So that's always something fun. Same thing with having kids or whatever. And then you might want to ask them about networking groups that they are already a part of, that you might be a great fit for, that might meet your needs. So you might want to ask them about their networking groups that they're a part of. You might want to ask them about professional organizations that they are members of. Again, it might be something that would work well for you. Sometimes networking groups and professional organizations allow visitors to visit once or twice or 3 times or something, so that you guys can just like try it out, figure out if that's something that you'd like to actually invest in, if there's any fees or memberships that are required. So if they could bring you as a guest and introduce you to a few people within that organization, that'd be amazing, right? So you could talk about that, asking them what groups or organizations are they affiliated with. And also just ask them about any upcoming networking events that they know of or that they regularly attend, any ribbon cuttings or job fairs they might know about, anything like that that would be of interest to you, that they might can share. And then you also share these same things with them, because it might be something that you can help them better understand or know about or sign up for or whatever as well. And then you might ask them just what apps are they using that's making life easy for them, personally and also professionally. Like what apps, what software, what resources are they using that they would recommend for you? Because, there's always like something that people are like, oh my gosh, have you tried this app? It is amazing for blah, 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 whatever purpose, especially as it pertains to business and things like that. So you guys can talk about those things. You could talk about just sales and marketing strategies and tips, if you're in business. But if this is for personal, there might be some other strategies or tips or things that you guys might want to talk about. And then again, now we've talked about their target market and their ideal strategic partners and who they might want you to connect them to. But also, there might be some people that you want them to connect you to. So, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So you have to open your mouth, communicate, let them know, hey, if you happen to know of anybody that does blah, 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 or that's interested in blah, 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 would you refer them to me? Could you connect them to me? Could you make an introduction or 2 or 3 for me? I saw something on social media the other day. Somebody was like, being a single person, we do not need any more of your singles or dating advice. We need introductions, okay? We need you to be introducing us to some people. And I feel them on that. I absolutely feel them on that. So, introduce the people. Ask them who you want to be introduced to. If it's for business, or to build your brand, who do you want to be connected to that they might know? Ask them to make those introductions for you. If you're single and you need an introduction, hey, ask them if they know anybody that might be a good fit for you. You never know, or whatever the other reasons might be that you might need an introduction, but please make sure that you put your needs out there too. Again, it is great to be more interested than interesting, but it's nothing wrong with you stating your needs, because, hey, that's what this is for. This is a two-way street, and we do want things to be reciprocal and reciprocated, okay? And so you're going to ask them for introductions, and let them know who your target market is and who you're wanting to meet, who you're wanting to work with or whatever. And you're asking them for any resources that you might need, that they might, know of, they can refer you to. And so then you're just kind of making notes in your notes of things that you discovered you guys have in common, and things that you've discovered that you guys can help each other with, like where one's strong and the other one needs help, that kind of thing. And so you're making notes of this, and then you're going to kind of ask them, like, how do you see us partnering or working together or building this friendship? What ideas do you have? Has anything kind of been whirling around in your mind based on what you know about me and what I've learned about you? How might we be able to do something together? Help a client or a certain set of people, or to accomplish a certain project, or to achieve a certain thing. Like, what can we do together? It might just be that we want to be fitness partners. I recently had someone, we both decided we need more fresh air. We like to get out. We want to be able to enjoy the elements, the fresh air, the sunshine, and all that stuff. So we decided, hey, let's be walking buddies. So a certain day of the week, let's get together in the morning and let's just go walking. Let's walk and talk and catch up and just have a person, like, you're my person. You're going to be my person that I can just kind of bounce ideas off with, and we can just, have a safe space to talk, to vent, to laugh, to whatever, have brunch together, or whatever that thing is going to be. So ask them, what do you think what are we going to do together? How can we keep this going? How can we keep this light on, keep this fire going so that we can build this relationship, like I say, for personal reasons or professional? And then you want to just make notes in a little notebook or in your CRM or on your spreadsheet or whatever, just any additional comments that you have and any follow-up items, any action items. If you promised that you were going to connect them with a person, or if you promised you were going to get them a copy of something, if you were going to forward them a resource or an email, whatever the action items are going to be as a result of this meetup, as a result of this chat and chew, this virtual coffee or in-person coffee or whatever, make note so that you can actually follow through and do what you said you're going to do, and also that you can follow up with them on the things they said they were going to do for you. So I hope that these prompts kind of helped. Also in your notes, make sure that you note like how you guys met, because you don't want to forget, like, I met her at that networking event. I met him at that thing or whatever it is. So, kind of take note of the date and, where you met, how you guys met, just for reference. Then just keep up with them. If you have an email list, if you, kind of send out a weekly newsletter to your mailing list anyway, already, add them to that list so they can stay in the loop with what's going on with you, so that you can continue to share resources with them, and things like that, so that you can remain top of mind. So again, I'm telling you these things because as you build your brand, as you are a young professional or any professional for that matter, as you have a book or a podcast or a passion, some sort of purpose, some kind of thing that you do, you're going to want to be connecting with people. You're going to want to be doing ABC. Always be connecting. ABC. Always be connecting. And so as you're connecting to get the word out there about your brand, about your passion, about your projects, about your initiatives, as you're trying to grow your career, grow your business, promote your book, promote your podcast, whatever, you got to be out there. And so if you're going to be out there networking, telling your story, teaching the things that you are an expert at or whatever it is, growing in your career so you can get to the next level, get those promotions, you got to be rubbing elbows with people. You got to know people. And when you get to the table, you have an opportunity to speak and shoot your shot with them. You have to know what to say and how to carry a decent conversation. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. It's super important, whether you're a student, whether you are a professional, whether you are, whatever. Networking is key, okay? So if you want to work with me, I invite you to reach out. I would love to work with you. I love helping people to just figure things out, establish what their brand should be, kind of figure out how are we going to go forward to brand yourself the way you want to be branded, present yourself the way you want to be presented, package your story, package the things you're experts in into the form of a book and a podcast. Just how do you, plan, launch, and scale those things, right? How do we get a handle on all the ideas that are in your head? You're just like thinking about a million things and you just need someone to help you get those things sorted out and organized, get that time management together so you can make these things happen, So I'm that kind of friend. That's what I do. And so I would love to help you with any of those things, okay? And if your organization needs a speaker, I do that too. I do personal and professional leadership development training topics, okay? So anyway, couple of links. So you can do organizedenergy.co, and look for the contact me links and options there. You can check out the blog, organizedenergy.co/blog, organizedenergy.co/blog. And then you can, if you want me to help you with your, telling your story, teaching what you know, packaging that in a book or a podcast, you can go to organizedenergy.co/mystory, organizedenergy.co/mystory. Lastly, if you just want to stay up to date on when new content is made available, when new blogs, when new events, when new opportunities, new products, new services, all those things are available, you can go to organizedenergy.co/alerts with an S at the end of that. Organizedenergy.co/alerts. You can get on my list so that when things come available, I will make sure that you know about them, or I'll send you the email. Now, if you open the email, that's on you, okay? Check your spam and all that, but I will at least send you the email, okay? All right, so thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I am so glad you've been here. Hope that there was something that you heard that will help you today. And I hope that you share this with others as well. I would love to work with you again, so make sure you reach out for those things. And you can always check out my books, organizedenergy.co/shop. Grab yourself a copy of my books. People want to pick my brain sometimes. They're like, I want to pick your brain. Do you have any time? Let's sit up and have coffee. If you know, I have an episode out there called No, You May Not Pick My Brain. But you can buy my book, okay? And a lot of the things that, I can help you with, you can find in the book, honestly, okay? So you might want to get a copy. Go to organizedenergy.co/shop and grab a copy, okay? All right, I'll talk to you soon. And again, thank you for joining me.